guys, it's Tori here with Camp Chef. We are out here on a snowy day. The last few have been cold and snowy and gray, so we're continuing the trend here of cooking in the outdoors in all seasons. As you can see, this snow pile back here is about as tall as the table that we're using today, so we've got a lot of snow up here. Thanks for tuning in with us. We are gonna do some queso dip and some homemade tortilla chips. So you can make your own chips and dip for your game day party that hopefully you're all gonna have next week. So yeah, we'll just jump right into it. Actually, that's a lie. We're not gonna jump right into it because I'm gonna tell you about the giveaway we have going. We've had it going all week actually on our Facebook page, so if this is the first you're hearing about it, you're right in time. If you like and comment on this video here today, you'll be entered to win one of our national parks cast iron sets. So that comes with a Dutch oven and a skillet, and they have a cool little engraving of Arches National Park and Yellowstone National Park. So we are giving away these sets on Facebook. Like I said, we've been running that giveaway all week, but you can also enter on this video today. You have until midnight tonight to like and comment. So share this with your friends, let them know this is their last chance to enter to win one of these. We'll announce the winner tomorrow, okay? So, in the meantime, let's get to the fun part. We're gonna start with the queso dip, so we can get that going. So we're just cooking out on our Explorer stove today, just 2-burner stove. We have 2 cast iron skillets out here, and we're starting with some delicious Velveeta cheese.
It doesn't look very delicious right now.
Not yet. It's coming. Just have a little faith, guys. So you start with some Velveeta, just all cubed up so it'll melt easier, and go ahead and add some milk to that. And then we're just gonna let that sit for a little bit and let the cheese melt a teeny tiny bit. And while we are waiting, we are gonna start with our tortilla chips. We have cut our tortillas. We just got the little corn tortillas and we cut them into 6 triangle pieces like a pie or something. And then we let them sit out for a while. That's why they're kind of curled up, to let them get stale, because they fry a little better that way. So we've heated our oil to about 300 degrees-ish. You don't want it to be smoking. That's too hot. So you want it to just be enough to fry the tortilla chips. You can even test a chip, and if it starts fizzing pretty good, you know it's hot enough. So we'll just drop a few in there, see how they do. So I think that looks pretty good. You just want to go ahead and drop them in a single layer, make sure they all get covered. If you guys are just joining us, we are making some queso dip and some homemade tortilla chips out in the snow. And we are doing, well, we're doing a giveaway this whole week actually. So Tony, do you maybe want to fill them in for those just tuning in on what we're doing?
Yeah, we're giving away the National Parks cast iron set. And there's no requirement to enter today, or to win. Everybody has a chance. All you have to do is enter.
By liking and commenting on this video or the original post.
Yep, so you just have to like or comment on this video or the original post.
Awesome. So, the nice thing about these chips, so they don't have to cook for very long, which is good if you're cooking for a big old party of a bunch of people, like if you're watching the big game and you want to crank out a ton of these at one time.
Yeah, let's get some likes for that. That looks delicious.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with frying anything, right?
Well, frying and cheese.
Frying and cheese, that's true. That's a good combination. So I'm using tongs. You could use like a slotted spoon or something, but you want to just kind of pick them up, feel how like crunchy and stiff they've gotten. If they feel pretty good, that probably means they're done. So you want to have a plate prepped like we do today with a paper towel. This will let just the excess oil drain off of it, so it's not you're not swimming in a pool of oil. Because as much as we love fried foods, that's maybe a little much.
CJ actually just gave a really good piece of advice, and you could toss some cinnamon and sugar onto it as well.
Yes.
That would be an awesome dessert.
If you're going for a dessert, that would be the way to go. Yeah, just throw some of this on. If you're going for something savory, as soon as you throw these on the paper towel, you want to make sure you're sprinkling some salt on there. So as you can see, you don't have to wait till they get way brown. In fact, I would pull them out before they start getting really brown, because if you start to see them get brown in the oil, that usually means they're a little bit overdone. So we'll let those.
Just gonna zoom in so you guys can
Yeah.
kind of see where it's at.
While I'm doing this, I want to know where you guys are joining us from today. We ask that every week, but I like to find out anyway. Where are our Camp Chef family members tuning in from today?
Ah, somebody says that they can smell the goodness all the way from Chicago.
Chicago. Nice.
Probably cold over there too.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Somebody asked what kind of oil we're using in order to cook this.
Yes, that is a great question.
We're actually just... Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we're using canola oil. And I was going to explain why. You can use a lot of different oils for frying, but you want to make sure that you choose one with a higher, you know, words are hard sometimes. I forgot the word. You want one that can stand more heat is basically the idea, because that will be better for frying. So you don't want to use like olive oil and things like that. You want to use canola oil. Grapeseed oil can also work, and things like that. So back to our queso dip, you guys. The cheese is just starting to melt a little bit, and now we're going to add the rest of our awesome ingredients. So we have some chili here with no beans. I guess if you wanted your queso to have beans, you could get chili with beans. A high smoke point, is that what you said? Smoke point. Thank you, Trevor, our off-camera guide. You want oils with a high smoke point. Alright, so obviously be a little careful stirring this, especially over an open stovetop like I am on. And we'll let that kind of meld together for a minute. I'll throw some more tortilla chips in the oil, how about? Grab our last two out of here. Where do we have people from?
Oh, we've got people from everywhere around the United States. We've got Nebraska, I've seen Oregon, we had the guy from Chicago, we just got a share from Texas.
Nice. We have a lot of faithful Camp Chef family members down in Texas, I've noticed. So shout out to you guys in Texas today. Although you're probably not cooking in the snow like we are on this fine afternoon.
They're just making us a little jealous.
For sure. So if you guys are just tuning in, by the way, we do have a giveaway going today. We are giving away our National Parks cast iron set that comes with a Dutch oven and a lid, and then a skillet, both with engravings of the Arches National Park and Yellowstone National Park. And all you have to do to enter to win is like and comment on this video. But if you want to share for good measure to let your friends know, if you have any like cast iron fanatics in your circle of friends, it'd be a little mean to not share and let them know about this. So make sure you share this video so they can join in on that too. All right. So as this is starting to melt together, we're gonna add our spices, because that's what makes for good queso, right? We want it to be a little bit spicy. So just adding some smoked paprika and some chili powder, cumin. This recipe, you guys, by the way, for the queso is already on our website right now. So as soon as this video is done, you can hop over there, look up the recipe, and try it for yourself this weekend. If you're practicing your game day menu, it's always good to have a little run through, right? Let's get some likes for that, some melty cheese. I promise this is gonna turn out good, you guys. Just have to let it come together. Alright, so let that sit for a minute. Check on our chips. As if any of you tuned into our last, well, not last week, but we did do a video, I don't know, a couple months ago probably, where we fried a whole bunch of stuff. If any of you were there, tuned in for that, we went over a lot of good tips for frying over an open stove like this, because when you're working with hot oil, there's always a little bit of concern just being safe and all of that. So you want to make sure that you really keep a good eye on how hot your oil is. Since we're frying chips like this, they're real thin. They don't need a super high temperature to get cooked and crispy. So if your oil starts to smoke, you probably want to turn it down and just keep it hot enough to cook the chips, but you don't need to get it all the way to smoking hot oil. Another thing you want to remember is, if you'll notice here in my skillet I'm working with, the oil doesn't even come up to halfway around the rim. We're working with about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of oil around the bottom of the pan, and that's about where you want to stay. You don't want to go too much higher than that, just because you don't want any to spill over the edge. So just if you guys have any other questions with cooking with oil, things like that, just shoot them our way and we can answer those for you. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure you share this with your friends so they can enter for the awesome cast iron giveaway.
Yeah, there's tons of people talking about how good it is to cook with cast iron, and this is how you can cook with cast iron. You can win it by just liking or sharing on our Facebook page, and it's the National Parks cast iron set.
Awesome. Alright, let's check one more time on our queso dip.
It's looking cheesy.
It is
and
looking
gooey
cheesy.
And gooey.
So if you want, you could also cook this in a 12-inch cast iron skillet. Today we're just using a 10-inch, but as you can see, a 12-inch would give you a little more lip room, maybe a little more depth. But you just want to make sure you keep stirring it. You don't need to heat this on the low heat, by the way, you guys. I didn't mention. Today on the stove I'm cooking on medium low. Yeah, medium low on both of these burners here, because with all of our stoves really, all of our stoves have pretty powerful burners, about 30,000 BTU per burner, which is, to put it into perspective, on your kitchen stove you'll usually run around 8 to 12,000 BTU on your just normal kitchen stove. So we're talking about a lot more power in these burners than you'll find in your normal kitchen, which is awesome, right? You can cook in cold weather like this, no problem. But that also means you want to keep an eye on the heat, and you probably don't need to turn it up as high as you might on your kitchen stove. So if you guys are cooking this outside, use the heats I'm using. If you're cooking it inside, no shame, then you might want to turn it up a little bit higher. Okay, Tony, I think our queso has come together. What do you think?
That looks awesome.
Can we get some likes for that?
Yeah, let's get some likes for it. That looks delicious.
Okay, yeah, that looks really good.
You guys are seriously going to have to make this at home because it's going to taste awesome.
Yes, I'm very excited for this. And we already have a plate full of chips ready to dip. We gotta, of course, add some salt here. If you're like a salt fanatic, then, you know, salt them to your heart's content. But I like a little less on the salt side, so I'm just gonna sprinkle a few. Grab a chip. This feels pretty good. We're gonna test this out. Alright.
Don't burn yourself.
I know. I'm worried about how hot it is. We'll see. Okay, it's not too hot.
Pretty tasty?
Yeah. Very good. That is awesome, you guys. You have to try this at your game day party. Like and comment on this video to enter to win the cast iron set. And let us know who you think is going to win the big game. Who's your team this year? I personally haven't made up my mind yet, so we'll let you know in the comments. But let us know who you think is going to win. If you cook this, let us know how it turned out. We want to know how you liked our queso dip. Our homemade tortilla chips recipe is going on Facebook tomorrow, so keep a lookout for that. We will have it posted. And Tony, is there anything that I missed?
I don't think so. If you guys are making this and if you're changing it up, just share a picture with us. We'd love to see kind of what your changes are to the recipe. If you've added meat or jalapenos, I know that lots of people have a lot of really good changes that they'd like to do to it. So
Yeah.
Any suggestions or any pictures that you have, send them on over our way.
Please do tag us. And then last but not least, don't forget, midnight tonight is your last chance to like and comment on this video or the original post. Share with your friends, let everybody know, and we will announce the winner tomorrow.
Perfect.
Bye!